Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to those from Europe, and late good evening to those from Asia. Welcome to our Saturday practice, our 2-hour boot camp. So for those who are new here, the 2 hours is broken up so that the first hour, we have a break after the first hour, and then we have a break after the first hour and a half, and finally the 2 hour. Very intense workout. It's a spiritual journey, starting with the body, the chi, I'll explain that in a minute, and then ultimately the mind. The chi is a complicated word. It can mean something as simple as breath, circulation, or life energy. So let's get started. And before we get started, it's important that we calibrate our body and calibrate our mind. I'd like you to bring your attention to your body, especially your spine. Starting at the bottom of the spine, examine your spine all the way up to the top of the spine. Straighten the spine as if somebody's pulling the hair on top of your head. Now open your shoulder. Relax your shoulder. Focus your mind onto the center of your palm, bringing your hand and your mind together all the way up to shoulder level. Sit up straight. Focus on the wrist. We're going to do a little bit of warm-up exercise on your body as well as your mind. So as you rotate your wrist, I want you to focus on your wrist. Examine the change in your body. Examine any heat that you generate, any sweat, any numbness, any pain. Now go the other way around. Very slow, very, very slow. Here the exercise that we do is not just on the intensity, but it's actually on the harmony between the yang, the masculine energy, and the yin, the feminine energy. Now put your hands down. Again, come back to your body, calibrate your body, examine your body, straighten up your spine, open your shoulder, lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin. Once again, focus on the center of your palm. Bring your hand to up, follow your hand, open your shoulder. Focus on the elbow. Very gently rotate your elbow. Examine any change in your body again. Try to focus on that. Feel the heat that you generate. Possibility of any sweat, numbness, pain. Now go the other way. Focus on your elbow now. And now bring your hands down. Once again, calibrate your body, open your shoulders, straighten up your spine, relax. We're moving from the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder. And the importance of the shoulder is not just that it has a lot of muscles and tendon and bones and so forth, but it actually contains a lot of energy points that are associated with both the heart and the lung. So it has to do with a very important part of the development of your chi, which is the circulation. So again, we calibrate our body, straighten our spine, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, focus on the hand, bring the hand up very slowly, following the center of your palm. Stretch, hold, examine, come down together, touching the wall, open that shoulder, and then as soon as you come down, relax, completely relax. Going from the yang back to the yin, creating that harmony between the yang and the yin. Once again, go up, stretch, hold, come down together, open the shoulder, touching the walls on the side, and relax. Go up, stretch, hold, come down, touching the wall, and relax. Go up, stretch, hold, come down, and relax. Now we're going to go the other way. Again, open the shoulder, stretch, and come down. Open the shoulder, stretch, and come down. Very slow, very mindful. Mindful in this case means something very simple. It just means remember. Always examine Where's my mind? My mind should stay with my body when I'm moving and stay with my breath when I'm not moving. Open the shoulder, go up and come down. Once again, sit properly, stretch your spine, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, sit up straight. Hands in front, and now follow the hand. As you open as far back as you can. Start to feel the pain. There's no escaping of feeling the pain now. Embrace the pain, and then now let go of the pain. Come back to the center of your palm. Go up. Open the shoulder. Examine the pain. Let go of the pain. Sit up straight. Up. Open the shoulder. Come down. Feel the pain. Don't be afraid of the pain. And as soon as the pain is gone, come back to your body. Come back to the center of your palm. Open. And come down. One more time. Open all the way back. And come down. Now we just do that. From the back to the front. Hands as far back as you can. Open the shoulder. Up. And come down. All the way back. Open the shoulder. Up. And down. Open the shoulder. All the way up. And down. One more time. All the way back. And come down. So if you're here for the first time and you see what we're doing, you say, well, that's not that difficult. That's very common. Everybody does that. The difference here is that it's not just the exercise of the body. It's the exercise of the body and the mind. Examining the body and the mind, and ultimately developing the chi as the bridge between the body and the mind, and then eventually not just the bridge, but the harness between the body and the mind. Okay, so open the shoulder, continue. Putting your left hand in front, stretching out the right hand. Now, it's very important that you move one hand at a time, okay? Making a big circle in the front. Open the shoulder, feel the pain, let go of the pain, and then now move the left hand. Right hand stationary, all the way around. Feel the pain, all the way to the left, all the way around, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Sit up straight. One more time. All the way to the left. So the word that we're going to be using today is letting go. Letting go. Letting go is the key to reduce your suffering. We talk about the difference between pain and suffering. What we just experienced is the pain. It's a physical pain. It's very obvious that when you open your shoulder like that, you're going to generate some pain, but that's a bodily pain. It's physical pain. However, sometimes it becomes something that we don't want to do. That's because it went from pain to become suffering. Suffering is the mental process. And we want to learn the difference, and then ultimately learning how to let go of the suffering. Okay? And we're going to continue to do that today. Ultimately, at the end of the 2 hours, we're going to be learning how to let go of our breath. Open your shoulder. We're going to continue to work on the shoulder. Lift up your right arm. Focus on the center of your palm. Make a fist. You're going to throw that fist to the upper left-hand corner. Open up the fingers. Straighten up the elbow. And then also lean forward the shoulder. All this time following the fist. Continue. Up. Come down. Transfer the focus from the right to the left, making a fist. Up. Come down. We're going to go lower. Down. Down. Follow the fist. Up. Up. Down. Down. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Open the shoulders, sit up straight, 2 hands. 1, follow the hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. So this exercise again looks very simple, but it's the beginning of developing your chi. So what exactly is chi beyond just breath and circulation? It's a life energy. What is about this life energy is that ultimately both the North Indians and the Chinese discover that if they divide the 24 hours into 6 time zones, each one lasting 4 hours, then every one of those 4 hours there's an active energy loop, and there's 6 of them. 6 going from the inside the body to the extremity, which in this case are the fingers. 3, and then another 3 going from the inside the body going to another set extremity, which in this case is the toe. So for example, at 11 o'clock at night, there's an energy loop that is associated with the kidney and, the liver and the gallbladder. That's why both the Chinese and the North Indians believe in sleeping before 11 o'clock, letting the body go through that energy loop so that you can detox and also manufacture new blood. Another energy loop, this one associated with the stomach and the splint, is actually active at 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's why they also believed of getting up early enough so that the stomach energy line is the yang energy line, and you want to be standing up, absorbing the energy from the sun, and so forth and so on. So these 6 energy loops is what we call the chi, the life energy. 3 of them in the hands, and then 3 of them in your feet. The energy loops, there's an outgoing energy, and then there's a returning energy. The outgoing energy is what we call the yang, which means the sun. The returning energy is what we call the yin, which means shadow. It's the absence of the sun. So when we actually throw a fist like that, action equal to reaction, Newton's second law. When you throw it, there's a yang energy, and automatically there's a yin energy coming back, called the reaction force. So by throwing a fist, doing our finger works and so forth, it's actually a way of clearing the blockage of this energy loop. Now, one of the most important energy loop beyond the 6 is actually the one that goes from the very bottom of the upper torso to the very top and come back again. And in front is called the yin. In the back, facing the sun, is the yang. And one of the area where there's a blockage of the yang energy is right behind your neck. It's actually between your neck and in the beginning of your spine, and between the left shoulder and the right shoulder. So we're going to exercise that. Sit up straight, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Focus on top of the shoulder, bring your shoulder up, all the way to your ear, relax, bring it up like you're hanging your whole body. And then now open that shoulder, all the way, feel the stress between your shoulder blade, and relax. Second time, bring up your shoulder, all the way up, and then now open your shoulder, all the way, feel the stress between your shoulder blade, and relax. One last time, bring it all the way up, all the way back, and relax. Sit up straight. Now we're going to take our head, lean back very gently, rotate to the right, rotate forward very gently, rotate to the left, all the way back clockwise, all the way around to the front, to the left, and now we're going to go the other way, counterclockwise. And relax. We're going to sit properly now. Again, come back to our spine, stretch our spine, open the shoulder, relax, lean back the forehead so that the neck touches the collar, and then tuck in your chin so you're putting pressure on the artery. Now the entire body lean forward, and then as you lean back, hold the hip in place so that you're actually putting some pressure on your lower back, right where your adrenal gland is, a very important energy point. Now at this point, the posture is called one pillar, meaning the spine, supporting the sky. You're perpendicular to the earth. The energy flows in the back all the way up to the top. This energy point here is actually right where your ear meets, right on top. Now we're going to take our right hand, grab your head. Now we're going to hold this posture so that the top of the head is pointing the sky, and we're going to pull the head to the right, fighting it with the neck, and then relax. Go the other way. Sit up straight, pull it to the left, and relax. Gonna take a right hand, 4 fingers, put it on the shoulder. Now feel the collarbone, feel the bone go down. Sit up straight and then just apply pressure, and then relax the other way. And where right below the bone, there's no bone there, okay? And just apply pressure, and then relax. So when your qi is blocked, and in Chinese the qi actually comes in 2 words. It's very rare that we use 1 word. And the qi is actually shi, qi. Shi means blood, that means circulation. And the qi is the energy. Okay, so the 2 goes together. And when the qi is blocked, it could either mean the circulation is blocked or the energy is blocked. If the circulation is blocked, then you have swelling because you have inflammation. And when the qi is blocked, you start to have aching in the body, pain. And now we're going to work to clear those blockage or open the shoulder using Newton's second law again. I'm a mechanical engineering professor, okay? I taught Newton's second law for 9 years. Let me do the numbers. So let me think. That's an introductory class. So typically about 200 students per class. I teach it 3 times a year, 9 years. That's a lot of students. All right. So Newton's second law: action equal to reaction. Open your shoulder, pointing your 10 fingers in front. The 4 fingers are the springs, okay, and then the thumb is the trigger. So you lock your elbow, pointing the fingers in front, and then wind up the 4 fingers, hold it with your thumb, and then just let go, okay? Ready, and go. And then come back. 2, let the energy come back first. Don't hurry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Open your shoulder. 2 very important energy points. I talk about the energy points around the shoulder. This one is very important. It's actually right below the collarbone. And if you go like this, you can feel it. It's called the gate to the cloud. It's part of the lung energy line. Open your shoulder, joining your middle finger and your thumb. The middle finger is the pericardium energy line, and the thumb is the lung energy line. Open your shoulder. This is called the Lotus Hand. Putting the fingers in here, the energy point. The back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. 1. Back of the hand facing the camera. Wait for the reaction to subside and then come back. 2. Following the hand. Make sure your mind stays with the body. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now I use computer all the time for many years. Right. I started using computers in 1982. Before there was a mouse. In fact, when the mouse first came out, we used to make a joke. We said, "Oh, the mouse is a great thing, especially you have 3 hands," because we are so used to typing using control keys. Most of you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe 1 or 2, you know. Using control keys, cursor, and all that. So I've been working on computers. So of course I suffered from carpal tunnel, and refused to get Western treatment, which meant that they would either inject steroid or they would actually do operation. And now, with this exercise, all my pain is gone. There's no more pain. There's no more pain on the shoulder, the frozen shoulder, right? No more pain. Okay, now we come back and we're going to work on this primary channel, the one in the front and the one in the back. The one in the front, we do that by deep breathing. Deep breathing means that we're going to breathe with our diaphragm. Now, by the way, there's no other way to breathe. There's no other way to breathe. It's always with the diaphragm, because the lung has no muscle. The lung itself cannot breathe. The lung itself cannot actuate. So it's always the diaphragm. It's just that the amount of movement that we use is so shallow that we don't feel it. But what we want to do now is learn how to breathe much deeper than that. And the diaphragm is part of the connective tissue. The connective tissue is everywhere. In fact, you can talk about the connective tissue on the muscle level, on the organ level, as well as the cell level. Each cell itself has a membrane, has a connective tissue. So the Chinese actually believe that the connective tissue is that one big system that is the conduit for the qi, all right? And all comes back to the abdomen, okay? All comes back to the diaphragm. So we're going to sit properly now. And the Chinese actually devote an energy line to that connective tissue called the triple warmer or triple focus, dividing the internal organs into three parts: upper, middle, and below. And it's all connected. That energy line flows. It's a yang energy line, so it's exposed to the sun. It actually flows on top of the arm. So as we do deep breathing, we're going to be stretching the upper arm. Okay? All right. Sit up straight. Always sit up straight. There's no other way to sit. Okay? Now, I'm hunchback. Okay? It's, my normal posture is like this. It's very bad. Okay? I'm 65 years old, so I've been yelled at by my mom and my wife for 65 years now. I'm hunchback. That's how I am. Okay? But when I practice, that's a different story. When I practice, my spine is very straight, and you need to hold that posture. Hold the posture. Open your shoulder like this. Okay? And then we're going to put the fingers together, lock them together, put it right below the belly button. So if you go to the belly button, you take two fingers down. That's what we call the Dan Ten. Ten means feel, Dan means energy. The lower Dan Ten, middle Dan Ten, upper Dan Ten. The brain is the upper Dan Ten. We're going to take a deep breath from beginning to end. Don't stop in the middle, okay? You do that by taking a very, very gentle breath. Get ready, sit up straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Open your hands. Okay. Maintain the stress on your wrists. Stretch your elbow. Pretend that there's two big mountains on the side, and we're going to climb that mountain, stretching the upper arm, and then now we're going to relax. Second time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Climb that mountain. Relax. Completely relax. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Climb that mountain. Now we're going to move from the front to the back. The back coincides with the spiral cord. So the back, what we call the governing energy lines, there's a lot of energy points, and it coincides exactly with the spiral cord. In between every disc is one energy point. Okay, so that is easy. So again, sit up straight, bring your hands up, focus on the bottom of the spine, and then now stretch the spine. Stretch, 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 stretch. Okay, now lean back. Don't lose balance. Okay, come back in the middle. Stretch. Lean to the left, entire body lean to the left. We're stretching the spine. Bring it in the middle. Stretch. Lean to the right. Stretch. And then come back in the middle. Stretch. All the way to the left. Come back in the middle. Stretch. Come back to the right. Come back in the middle. Stretch. And then relax, leaving the right hand on top, touching your left shoulder. Lean back the forehead so you're putting stress on on your shoulder. Grab the elbow, sit up straight, stretch to the left, and come back. Sit up straight, stretch to the right. Oh, relax. Completely relax. It's very important that when we do this energetic exercise that we give equal time to relaxation. As soon as you stretch the body thinks that you're in danger because the autonomous system is designed so that there is a yang and a yin. The yang is what we call the sympathetic nerve, and the yin is what we call the parasympathetic nerve. They're just sitting and waiting. They're not under the control of your brain. The rest, the fight or flight, the sympathetic nerve, monitors your spine, which is where all your nerve ending ends. As soon as you know that, as soon as it knows that it thinks that you're in danger, it puts out the stress hormone, and then it prepares you for either fight or flight. Now, as soon as you do that, then you have to come back to the yin side, which is the parasympathetic, and just let the body subside, relax, okay? Because the stress hormone, you need that for survival, but as soon as the danger is over, it's best that you let it dissipate. Let it dissipate, okay? I might have told this story once before. They were a very famous husband and wife biologist team. I think either they had retired or they might even have passed away already. Very famous, and they used to study the animals in the jungles in Africa, and they spent quite a number of years studying a family of gorillas, and they were quite interested in wanting to know why certain gorillas become alpha male, and then for some reason then they switch places, so the alpha male then kind of retire, and then another one will come up. So they got so used to each other that they were able to, camp out in close proximity. So then they wanted to study the correlation between their social position with their blood chemistry. And of course, they put them, they have a way, right? So they don't go up to the gorilla and say, they have the way. Okay, so they realize that it has to do with the adrenaline. And the alpha males are the one where the adrenaline can rise on demand very quick so that they can do things that other people cannot do. But as soon as they're done with what they have to do, the adrenaline goes down really fast because the adrenaline really hurts your body. And those who are the weaker ones, the ones that are not the alpha male, it takes a much longer time for the adrenaline to rise, and it takes much longer time for the adrenaline to dissipate. And so for thousands of years, the Chinese practiced that, both the yang and the yin. The yang is when you want the adrenaline to rise quickly, and the yin is when you want the adrenaline to dissipate quickly. And it's that harmony that is the basis of good health, right? So actually modern people have lost that, completely have lost that. So if you look at all the disease that we have, I call them the lifestyle disease, they come down to two things. They come down to having bad circulation, and they come down to having this disorder in the autonomous system. Okay, so we need in here. Okay, we put equal time. As soon as you finish an energetic exercise, you just let it relax. Relax your body. So the way I relax is because I grew up in Macau. We're surrounded by water, so water means a lot to me. And so what I do is as soon as I wanted to guide and entice my mind to relaxation, I imagine I'm sitting next to either the beach or a lotus pond, and I observe the top of the pond, and I observe the moon reflecting off the pond. And when I'm stressed out, the pond is very wavy. I couldn't even see the moon. It's all breaking up into pieces. So I just kind of keep focusing on the top of the water until I can see the moon perfectly reflect off the top of the water. That works really well, okay? And some of you had commented that it worked well with you too, so you ought to give it a try. Now, we have opportunity to do that. So the next two exercises is actually quite energetic, and we're moving away from the primary energy line back to the 3 secondary energy loop, which has to do with the heart and the lung. Okay, so again, starting with the shoulder and then to the elbow. These have energy points. So we're going to sit properly, straighten up your spine, open the shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin. Now we're going to take the 2 hands. The fingers are touching, okay? So this is actually a mudra. So the fingers are touching, the center of the palm touching. We're going to put that below our spiral cord at the very bottom of our spine. Sit up straight, head's pointing to the sky. We're going to rotate the fingers so the fingers are pointing up. We're going to bring it up as much as you can. You don't need to overdo this. And now we're going to sit properly again, come back to our posture, and we're going to open that shoulder. Open that shoulder. Open, 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 all the way. Feel the stress all the way around your shoulder, as well as your wrist. Hold it there. And relax. Now, if you're wearing an Apple Watch like I am, so that you can monitor your heartbeat, you're beating very high now. I'm beating about 100 now. I typically beat about 50, 55 or so. All right, so now I want you to sit up properly, relax, focus on that body of water, the lotus pond, looking at the top of the water, trying to visualize the moon, the full moon reflecting off the water. Keep focusing until you can see the full moon. Okay, relax. So it's very important that we learn to use the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, right? It's like one is like the central heater and one is the air conditioning. Just because you turn off the heater doesn't mean that the house will cool down. This is one of the things that we misunderstood about stress management, is that we think that if we just stop doing whatever it is that we do that creates stress, then that's the end of it. That's not the end of it. If you turn off the heater, that the house doesn't cool, you need to turn on the air conditioning. Okay, the two goes together, and not only that, the stress level accumulates. Okay, so if you're constantly 24/7 on the fight or flight, it just gets worse and worse. So you really have to learn how to relax by focusing on something. In my case, it's a body of water. Just focus on that. Okay, now we're going to continue to another very energetic exercise. Open the shoulders, sit up straight. Left hand, there's an energy point here that we'll talk about called the palace of labor. This is part of your pericardium. Facing the sky now, the right hand covering that part, which is basically covering half your palm and half your fingers. Sit up straight. Now bring the hand down gently, focus on the elbow. Push out the elbow, keep pushing. Eyes forward. Now use your elbow to push up your hand. This is a very simple exercise, but very, very efficient. It's a very good cardio exercise. Okay, now bring it all the way to your eyebrow. Keep pushing. Now, this is the left hand, so we're going to bring the left hand to the right. All the way to the right. Hold it. Keep pushing the elbow all the way to the left. Keep pushing the elbow and then relax. Sit up straight, right hand, bring down the elbow, bring down the palm, push out the elbow, eyes looking forward. Use the elbow to bring up your whole arm all the way to the eyebrow level so that the elbow is above your heart. Keep pushing. Now bring it to the left now, all the way to the left. Keep stretching. And then now come back to the middle, come back to the front, and then relax. Come back to a body of water, a lotus pond. Relax. Observe our breath. Observe the top of the water. Just let a breath, relax a breath. As you relax your breath, you will see that the top of the pond is very calm. Keep calming yourself. Okay? All right. So now what we did was we did joint exercise, and then we did some stretching on the upper part of the body. We're going to do more on the lower part of the body. The upper part of the body has to do with the heart and the lung. The lower part of the body has to do with the liver and the splint. Right? Now, the Chinese divide the organs into both yin and yang. Okay, the yin organs are the heart and the lung, and the liver and the splint and the liver and the kidney. Okay, for each of the yin organ, there's a yang organ that is the protector. All right. All right. So now what we're going to do is we want to energize the upper body by energizing some strategic energy points that helps with the circulations. Okay. Now the energy points are like if you imagine the energy that we talk about is actually magnetic energy. Okay, it's the magnetic energy that arises from the electrical energy. Electrical energy is the circulation, and when you have circulations, everything about us is electrical. So the blood has iron. Iron is conductive. The nerve is electrical. The muscular is electrical. Everything about us is electrical. So as you have this electricity flowing in your body, it generates magnetic field, and the magnetic field is what we call the qi, the life energy. And magnetic field has these what's called a dipole. You know, the energy field comes together and then goes back again. So these energy points are basically like the dipole. Okay, so we're going to work on the shoulder first. Open the shoulder, and then now bring out your right hand, forming what is empty hands. Very important. Okay, we're going to energize it with acoustically. Okay, and then now we're going to put the hand on top of the shoulder and the center of the palm pushing against the collarbone, where there's the energy point here. And we're going to rotate the head to the right. Listen with your left ear. Wake up and continue. Concentrate. Head to the left hand, empty hand, put it on the right shoulder. Listen with the right ear, sit up straight. Listen, wake up, continue. Open your shoulder, straighten up your left arm. Put the elbow on top of your head, and then pinching the upper part of your ear. The head lean straight forward, so you open up the armpit, taking the right hand, empty hand. Focus, listen, wake up, continue. And the other side. Listen, wake up, continue. Okay. Jeff, it doesn't matter. You can start on the other side, okay, if you want. So I'm right-handed, so I have certain sequence, but if you feel more comfortable flipping it, it's perfectly fine. Don't worry, okay? All right. So now we're gonna come back to our elbow, a good friend. Elbow has 3 energy points. It has to do with the heart, the pericardium, and the lung. All right. Now straighten up your elbow, palms at eye level. elbow above the head, above the heart, sorry. And then now we take the right hand, empty hands. Two things important. Lock your elbow, empty hand. Put the fingers on top, covering these two energy points. And then the palm pushing against the side. Listen with your left ear. Wake up. Continue. Okay, now the other side. Left hand. Wake up. Continue. Okay. We have more work to do for the upper body. Okay. Now, let me talk about the triple warmer. All right, I talk about the energy line. It's a yang energy line. The triple warmer is the protector for the pericardium. It actually goes like this. So what is triple warmer? Because it has no Western equivalent. Okay. The triple warmer, the idea of the triple warmer is that the Chinese divide the internal organs into upper, middle, and lower. And each one has its own functions. So they say the upper warmer is like the fog. The middle warmer is like the foam. The lower warmer is like the gutter. Fog means that the heart and the lung work together, bringing the nutrients from the universe, oxygens and whatever, and distribute it to the body like the fog in the early morning, moisturizing the earth. The middle part is like the foam. This is when you take, again, borrowing the resources from the universe. And this is where it does the digestions and fermentation, extracting the nutrient. And then the lower part, below the belly button, the separation is above the diaphragm, below the diaphragm, but above the belly button. And then below the belly button is like the gutter. It's the where you actually extract the waste, but before it becomes waste, you actually wants to reclaim all the minerals. Okay, so the upper part is the heart and the lung. The very lower part is the kidney and the bladder, and the middle part is the splint, is the liver, and the protector. The splint, the protector is the stomach, and the liver protector is the gallbladder. Now, the Chinese believe all of these organs are equally important, right? So one of the things that I noticed with the Western doctors is that they're very quick in removing body parts, especially the splint. They say, "Oh no, who cares? I can make it up with medicine." No. The splint is very important. The splint and the stomach is what enables the upper burner and the lower burner to communicate. The upper burner has to do with the heart. It has to do with fire. The lower part of your body has to do with the kidney. That's water. So when the water and the fire, they don't mix or they don't become harmony, you got a huge problem. And so this next exercise is about creating the harmony between the water and the fire by utilizing the bladder energy line, which is distributed in the back. Okay, so sit up straight, open the shoulder, taking the right hand, use the center of your palm, reach as far back as you can. There's an energy point here that's associated with the heart, that's fire. Now we take the other hand, the right, depending on Jeff, you can flip it around, okay? But in my case, it's the left hand. We use the back of the hand, reach around to the lower back, which is where the adrenal gland and the kidneys are. I'm going to sit properly like the vertical windmill. This is actually called the water and fire. Okay, get ready. Okay. You don't need me to remind you how a mess we are, what a big mess we have made, this human species have made of the planet Earth. You don't need me to remind you of that. Okay? You can look around, you can talk about the climate, you can talk about the pandemic. We make a big mess. Why is it such a mess? Because the Western culture doesn't understand the importance of harmony. We don't understand that in order for our species to survive long term, we have to live in harmony with the universe. Not only that, we have to live in harmony with ourselves, understanding how the energy flows in us, how we actually exist as just another tiny little speck of a life form between the sky and the earth. Okay? And the harmony comes in two forms. It comes from circulation, the heart and the lung, working together with the kidney. The kidney is the source of life. And then the other part of harmony is how the liver and the spleen work with the kidney to provide metabolic harmony. So now we're going to work on the lower part. I can't do much for the human species. I can do a lot for myself and my family and all of you, okay? All right, so now we're going to focus on the lower part of the body, starting with the 3 energy loops that goes from the inside of the body to another set of extremity, which in this case are the toes. So what's outside is facing the sun. That's where the yang energy lies. In fact, there's 3 sides. There's the front, there's the side, and then there's the back. The yin energy is what's inside. Okay? So when I work on what's above, now again, the energy lines goes all over the body. So when I say that what's above the knee is the liver, all I'm saying is that it's a part of the liver energy line that is exposed to the outside. Okay, I don't mean that that's where it is. I mean that this is where it's exposed that we can work on. It actually goes all the way to the toe and come back all the way to the top of the head, because all the yang energy has to come to the top of the head. All right, so I'm going to take the middle, divide it into 3. Start with the middle. Sit up straight so that the energy flows in the spine. Focus. Get ready. Go. Move towards the hip. Get ready. Go. Move towards the knee, but not touching the knee yet. Get ready. Go. Close the knee. We're going to work on the yang energy line. This one has to do with the gallbladder. We actually had work on the gallbladder already, which is on top of the shoulder. Okay, it actually starts from the top of the head, flows down, and then all the way down. We're going to take 2 points, starting with the one closest to the hip. Get ready, go. Now move towards the knee. Get ready, go. Okay, now we're going to work on the knee. Okay, now there's 3 energy points below the knee. The first one is called the spring at the bottom of the heel. Heel is the knee. So start at the top of the heel, go down on the side until you are at the bottom. No more heel, no more knee. Okay, that's a very important energy point. Has to do with your it's a gallbladder energy line. Has to do with your immune system. Get ready, go. Now go to the middle. all the way down. Open your knee. Now we're going to work on back to the yin. What's below the knee, exposed to the surface, is the energy line that has to do with the splint. We're going to start in the knee first. Now we're going to pick 3 energy points below the knee. Again, the first one is called the spring at the bottom of the hill, but this time it's on the yin side. So again, we start at the top of the hill, which is the knee, go down until you no longer feel the knee. We're going to go from inside out. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, now we're going to go to the middle. Again, inside, okay? Away from the sun. Okay, now one last energy point. Also in the inside, we start at the angle. We measure 4 fingers up and we feel the bone, and it's right under the bone. So this is called the 3 yin meet, and we're going to come back to that inside out. Okay, now we're going to work on 2 more energy lines. It has to do with the yang facing the sun. One is in front and one is in the back. The one in the front is the stomach. It's the protector for the splint. Okay, so we first come back to the knee and we locate these 2 little thimble. Then we measure 4 fingers. Okay, locate the bone in the front, and it's right outside the bone. Get ready. This is the stomach line. Get ready, go. Now we're going to measure another 4 fingers, and same thing, locate the bone and then outside of the bone. Get ready, go. Okay, one more is in the back now. This is the bladder energy line, which is the protector for the kidney. We're going to be working on the kidney big times in a minute. But before we do that, we're going to work on the protector. We already work on the bladder in the back. So we'll continue using one hand, holding the feet, the leg in place. And then it's right back in the back, right? In the middle of the leg, right at the middle of the calf. Get ready, go. Now go to the other side, holding the feet and then in the back of the calf. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, massage. All right, so now we come to the most important part, which is the kidney. The kidney is, so in the past I talked about the 5 elements or the 5 materials or the 5, it's hard to translate. It's a 5 energy or and it's something like that. It's 5. So it comes from thousands of years ago when the Chinese started to observe the sky and try to coordinate it with the tide. Thousands of years before Galileo started to do that. They understand the effect of the Jupiter. So that's how they divide up into the 12 zodiac, because it takes 12 years for the Jupiter to circle around the sun. But they discovered that the Earth is affected more than just the Jupiter. So together with Jupiter, there's actually 5 planets. There is the Mercury, the Mars, and the Saturn, and the Venus, in addition to the Jupiter. And they understand how all 5 of them has an effect on Earth and on the human, because we share one thing in common, is that we are about 65-75% water. So what affects the Thai affects us too. And they decided to call those in different elements. For example, they decided that there should be water. Water is the source of life. Then the next thing is plant. Plant is the realization of life. And with the plant or the wood, you can generate fire. And with the fire, you can warm up the earth. And with the earth, you can then generate mineral. And the mineral ultimately adds life into the water. So it's the 5 elements that work together. Both in the yang, one assists the other. And in the yin, one governs the other. So for example, fire obviously can be put out by water, right? And the earth, the tree and the wood, on the other hand, can tilt the earth and work on the earth, so forth and so on. In the past, I talked about this. So the kidney is the most important, because the kidney is water and it's the source of life. So always come back to the kidney. And the kidney is that one energy line that doesn't start with the toes. It actually starts in the middle of the bottom of your feet. But before we do that, we're going to massage the feet. The body is giving you all kinds of signs that you have overstressed your kidney. One thing that is very obvious is your feet are very cold, which means that circulation is very bad. The kidneys are not working with your heart and the lung. The kidney is the second heart. So what we want to do is we want to massage the bottom of a toe where it is touching the floor. Okay, we're going to start with that first. Okay, now we're going to massage this part, the arch, like I call this the neck. So every one of them has this area, right? You can massage that. So this is actually, there's a lot of energy point in this area. Take your feet seriously, all right? Massaging your feet all the time. If not, just go to some place where they would do nothing but massage your feet. Or when you take a shower, you take the time out to really massage your feet. All right, now we're going to massage each and every one of the toe on the side, left and right. All right? So meticulously massage your toe, left and right. This will improve your circulation. Okay, every one of the toe, inside, outside. Okay. All right. Now we're going to flip it over, and you locate these 5 toes, and there's 4 lines in between. You're going to massage those one at a time, starting with the big toe. The big toe is the splint, and the little toe is the bladder with the liver and gallbladder and stomach in the middle. Come back to the big toe. Okay. Now flip it over. We're going to massage this area called the ball, right? I guess that's what it's called. Okay, massage it. There's a lot of energy points right here. Okay, right here. Massage that. And now we're going to massage the heel. The heel also has a lot of energy points. Now we're going to massage the arch. Okay. Now we come back to the mother of all energy point, which is what is called the Gushing Spring. This is the beginning of the kidney. So if you're here for the first time, hold up your feet, covering your toe, 1/3 down. There's a pit. So take 2 thumbs and massage that. Okay, now we're going to use the finger, make a knuckle, And we're going to really dig into that. If you clear the blockage on your kidney energy line, you're going to start to see the beginning of health, good health. Okay, now the next exercise, I only started doing this about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week after I visited my herbal doctor in Los Angeles. And it's very similar to the exercise that we did in the back, where I call creating a harmony between the water and the fire. Water meaning the kidney, fire meaning the heart. In this case, it's the same thing. The bottom of your feet, the center of the bottom of your feet is the beginning of the kidney, which is water. The center of your palm is your heart, which is fire. So we're creating harmony between water and fire. So we're connecting the center of your palm with the center of the bottom of your feet. You notice that your feet arches like this, and your hand arches the other way. It's made perfectly. God had a reason for that. And so you align the two centers, and you align the fingers. You sit up straight so the energy can flow in your body. And it's like you're clapping hand, but you just clap it with your feet and your one hand. Instead of two hands, you're clapping with your feet and your hand. Okay, same amount of force. Okay, not too loud, and just enough. Get ready. 30 times. Wake up. Oops. Wake up. Continue. Use a little bit of empty hand. Okay, so after you do this a couple of times, you get good at it. So you actually need to arch your feet a little bit to expose the gushing spring, and you need to arch the hand a little bit, forming a slightly empty hand, and then the two will work together. We'll have another chance, okay? All right, so now that we are done with the gushing spring, we need to work on some important energy line points all the way up to where we left, which is the 3 yin meat. So hold up your feet, locating the gushing spring, locate the arch, just come up to the arch, and now you need to feel it. You need to feel it. You find that point where when you dig in, it's a little tender. Okay, so this is actually the splint energy point, very important one. Just stick into it. Just stick into it. Okay, now we're going to move down along the arch before the heel, another energy point. Now we're back to the kidney. Dig into it. Not too much force, okay? Okay, now we have two energy points on either side of the angle. So it's as if you're drawing a cross. First, we're going to go towards the bottom of your feet. Start at the top of the hill, which is top of the angle, and move down until you're bottom of the hill, and then just find that point and dig into that. It's not going to work the first time, but after a while you get used to it. You get good at it. And you can locate it just like that. Not only can you locate it on your own body, you can locate it on someone else's body too. It feels different. Now we're going to go the other side towards the Achilles heel. Again, starting at the top of the hill, move down until you're bottom of the hill, and dig into that. Okay, now come back to the angle. We're going to measure 2 fingers, locate the bone, and it's south of the bone. That's the kidney again. Now we're going to come back to the angle, measure 4 fingers, locate the bone, south of the bone. Now we're back to the 3 yin meat. This is where kidney, splint, and liver all come together. Okay, massage that. All right, so now that's the left. So now we're going to do the right side. Again, starting with the fingers, very meticulously, where it touches the floor, improving our circulation. And now we're going to work on that arch, that neck area, okay? Massage that one at a time. And then we're going to come back to the big toe and massage the side, both sides, inside and outside. this massage of the bottom of the feet is really wonderful in terms of improving your circulation. Now flip the feet so that you're now looking at the front 4 lines between the toes. Massage that. Back to the big toe. Okay, now flip the back again. Work on the arch. Work on the ball, the pad. I prefer to call it the pad, where it touches the floor. And then work on the heel. Work on the arch. Okay, now work on the gushing spring. 2 hands, stick deep. And now use the knuckle and really dig into that. Okay, now we're gonna clap hand and feet together. Okay, now take your feet, make a slight arch so that you expose the center of the bottom of your feet. And then now you take your hand, make an arch again, and then just cover the two and clap. Okay, not too hard, not too light. Get ready. Continue. Okay, now we're going to work on the energy lines, energy points, starting with the gushing spring. Come up to the arch, locate that point. Come down to the arch before you reach the heel. Again, locate that point. Go to the angle, move towards the bottom of your feet. Come back to your angle, move towards your Achilles heel. Come back to your angle, measure 2 fingers, locate the bone south of the bone. Come back to the angle 4 fingers south of the bone, 3 yin meet. Okay, so it's about 10 minutes after 1 hour. So if that's all the time you have, it's okay to take a break and then just follow on a YouTube video, okay? All right, so if you have time, we can continue. Okay, so now we're going to be working with fingers, which is the being. We have the being exists between the heaven and earth. So we just finished the earth. We're going to work on the top of the head, which is the heaven. Now we're going to work on a hand, okay? So take your fingers and just stretch your finger. The Chinese believe that each of the fingers are connected to 5 of the important yin organ. So stretch your fingers like this. Each and every one. And massage the fingernail so you improve the circulation once again. The tips, the extremities are the most important when it comes to circulation, right? The opposite is true if you have diabetes. So I'm diabetic, not too bad, but I'm still diabetic. But if it gets out of control, then you're going to have problem first with the extremities, the fingers and the toes. All right, so that's why people have to cut off the toes when they're diabetic. It's so bad. All right, so now we're going to work on some energy points. There are 4 of them. The one associated with the pericardium. You take the middle finger, you fold down, you locate this point, then you move over. It's between the middle finger and the ring finger. Okay, now we move over one. Now it's between the ring finger and pinky. This is the heart. So the Chinese divide the heart into 2 parts, the mechanical part and the emotional part. So when I say heart, it's the emotional part. And when I say pericardium, that's the mechanical part. All right. Same thing on the other side. Come down in the middle, in between the middle finger and the ring finger. And now between the ring finger and the pinky. So this is very good for your circulation because you're doing it for your 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 heart and your lung. Okay, now there's an important energy point. This one actually has to do with the large intestine. The large intestine is actually the protector for the lung. Okay, so Chinese has a very different concept. The lung is where you breathe. So what does that have to do with the large intestines? Well, the Chinese actually believe that they're all connected. And so if you go to a Chinese herbal doctor, the first thing they're going to ask you to do is ask you to explain is your bowel movement. So when you go to a Chinese doctor, don't expect privacy. Okay, you got like half a dozen people sitting there waiting, and he's asking you for your bowel movement. It's very embarrassing. All right, so this energy point is called the merging valley. It has to do with the large intestine, protector for the lung. So you come in here into the valley and you push against the thumb. Okay, same thing, pushing to the thumb. And then one last energy point is we're back to the lung again. And so you take your two hands, like you're holding hand, you take your index finger, you reach over, and it's right there. Okay, so it's right below the. So again, you might have the micro adjusted. Okay, now to the other side, push down. Okay, now we're done with the being. Now we go to the heaven. And the heaven has to do with the very top of your head, the 100 meet, where all the yang energy comes together. Okay, but before we do that, okay, the same doctor who's 108 years old and still practicing, the one who perfected this clapping of the bottom of your feet, is the one that actually talks about how important it is to squeeze your ear. So we're going to do this. Now, the Chinese believe that the ear is a reflection of the fetus. So when you first is being developed in your mother's womb, where you can't even tell that it's a human being, it's just a little tiny thing, the energy already developed in there. And all your internal organs, all your yin organs, what we call the treasure organs, it's all there already. And it just gets developed. And that is reflected into your ear. And so your ear not only has a shape in this upside down shape, so it's actually three part. Okay, so when we talk about the triple warmer, the upper part, the lung and the heart, is the lower part of the ear. And the lower part, which is the kidney and the bladder, is the upper part of the ear. So we need to massage all three parts. So first take your thumb. The guy is 8 years old and he's still practicing. Okay, I think he's a good advocate for this. Now take your thumb. Okay, just reach in. Okay, now take your index finger, put it in the back, and just squeeze. Okay, now take your index finger and rest on top of this part and just massage. Now take your index finger, put it in, don't put it inside your ear, just put it right here. And then now put your thumb in the back and squeeze. Now take your index finger and rest it on here. And now put your thumb in the back and squeeze. Now take your index finger and massage the back of the ear where it connects to your body, your skull. Yeah, I will, Hana, is it Hana? Yeah. And please join our circle and then ask the same question again. Remind me. I will send you the link to the video. Now, okay, but it's in Chinese, okay? Now, take your thumb, rest it on top. Use your index finger, squeeze. Take your index finger and then just massage. Take your index finger, put it outside of your ear canal, okay? And the thumb in the back, squeeze the middle. And then take your index finger, rest it on top, and then squeeze the bottom. Okay? Now sit up straight. The Gushing Spring, touching the earth. Straighten up your spine. Take your two hands, put it behind your ear. And just stretch your ear. massaging all the energy points in the back. Okay? Okay, now we're ready for the head bend. Sit up straight, open your shoulder, lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin. Now this 100 meat is pointing the sky, and in all 4 directions there are 4 additional energy points. So take your hands vertical now, okay, and you feel free to move around, okay? Get ready, go. Okay, massage. Take your 10 fingers, pretend that they're like comb, and just massage. Okay, so we got 1 more energy point that we'll work on. Then we're ready to do walking meditation today, okay? Okay, now we're gonna stand. When we sit like the bell. When we stand like the pine tree. So feet firmly on the ground, gushing spring, energy flowing. We're gonna catch it with a well. So the top of the shoulder is called a well on the shoulder. Open your shoulder, lean back, and catching the gushing spring. Okay. Now the energy point that I talk about is actually behind the knee. This is the bladder energy line. This is the one that actually protects your kidney. But before we do that, we're going to do some warm-up exercise. This area is actually the bottleneck for the remaining 5 energy line. Okay, now we're going to make a soft fist and very gently get ready, go. Now we're going to work on the back of the knee. Okay, loosen up your knee, eyes forward, 4 fingers behind, the thumb on the side. Get ready. Wake up and go. Okay, this actually is an important energy point that cures that work with your kidney. Now, the Chinese actually believe that when you have lower back problem, is the kidney crying out. Okay, so the next exercise is actually very good for the kidney. It's actually very good for the lower back. So again, you stand properly, open your shoulder, lean back the forehead, tuck in your chin. So all 4 energy points are lined up. The bottom of your feet to the top of the shoulder, the top of the head with the bottom upper torso. Now you focus on your 10 toes. You grab your carpet or your yoga mat, and you very slowly stand up. As you stand up, you feel the energy rising. And then as soon as it gets to the top of the head, you stay at the top of the head. Our entire focus is on top of the head. Don't come down until I tell you to. Okay, now get ready. Don't get nervous. Very gently stand on your toes. Feel the energy rising to the top of the head. Stay on the top of the head. And now come down, impact the heel. And relax. Back to that body of water. Back to the moon reflecting off the top of the water. Relax. Come back to the yin. Creating the yin-yang harmony. Second time. Grab the carpet with your toes. Very gently stand up. Like you're doing ballet. Focusing on the top of your head. And come down. Impacting the heel. Relax. Focusing on the body of water. Third time, grab, go up, focus, and come down. And relax. One last time, stand, top of the head, and come down. Okay? Relax. That was a lot of work to just clear up 12 energy lines. 6 with the fingers and 6 with the toes. We still have a lot of work to do with the front and back, okay? We can do that later. Today we're going to do some walking meditation. We have done lying down meditation, we have done sitting meditation, and today we're going to do walking meditation. So I remember at the end of one of the session, we had a discussion with Josh about walking. And let me take a step back. So we talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness means remembering, right? The word comes from Pali word called sati. Sati is the name of a goddess who was incarnated into a princess for a king and a queen. And one day the king and the queen had disrespected her by not inviting her husband to a birthday party. Her husband turned out to be Shiva, Adi Yogi, the original yogi, which came from a different caste. So the king says, no, we don't want him. And so Sati, the princess, the goddess, became very upset. And she jumped into the fire. Because she said, I told you to never disrespect me. Jump into the fire and rebirth back into a goddess. And then reincarnate back into the second wife of Yogi, Adi Yogi. And was actually the first student. And Adi Yogi taught her what's called the chakra. That's how it came, okay? Now, when that knowledge came to China, sati becomes mindfulness. It means remembering, always remembering your mind. So how do you remember your mind? It depends on the posture. If you're moving, anchor your mind onto your body, either at the center of your palm or the center of your feet. When you're stationary, like when you're sitting, lying down, and standing, you focus on your breath. Okay? So now we're doing walking meditation. So the entire focus has to be on the bottom of the feet. But it's more than that. It's more than that. Because we say we sit like the bell, which means that the center of the body has to be hang from the ceiling like the clapper of a bell. We stand like the pine tree, which means that the bottom of feet has to be firmly on the ground growing roots, but the rest of the body has to be flexible. We lie down like the bow and arrow, which means that we lie down, but we're not dying. So there's a lot of energy in lying down, like the bow and arrow. But we walk like the wind. What does it mean when we walk like the wind? So a lot of people misinterpret that and thinking wind is the breath. No, wind is not the breath. But not only that, when you move, you don't anchor your mind on your breath. You anchor your mind on the bottom of your feet. Always focus on the bottom of the feet. So what does wind mean then? Wind is something you can feel, but you cannot see. You cannot taste, and you cannot smell. So wind is sensation. It's how your body feels the environment without thinking, without making judgments. So that is the key. So I remember watching a documentary about archers around the world. They examined how the samurai shoots arrow. They examined the Aborigines in Australia and how they shoot arrow. And one thing that they all have in common is that they don't aim. They don't aim. They don't use your brain. They use the body. They feel the bow and arrow. So this is what I want you to do is that as you do the walking meditation, I want you to feel it. I don't want you to think it. Feel it. So how do you feel? So it comes in 3 steps, 3 procedures. The first one is total concentration. Concentrating on the bottom of your feet. The second one is about balance. So again, Jeff, you and I are different. I'm right-handed, so I will start with the left feet. You can do it the other way around. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so just allow me that. So I start by balancing on the left feet, and when I balance, I balance as if I'm walking on a tightrope. My eyes are forward, not looking down. Okay? So when you ride a bicycle, you can't look down at the wheel, because when you look down at the wheel, you fall. You know that. So when you ride a bicycle, your eyes are forward. So when I'm walking, my eyes are forward. I can see my feet, but my focus is forward. Now I balance as if I'm balancing on a tightrope. My entire body is balancing on my left foot. Now I take my right foot and I very gently touch without losing the balance. All my energy, all my weight is on the left, and I'm just touching the floor as if I'm walking on thin ice. This is all about sensation. All right? So stand properly, open your shoulder, lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin, holding your arms, your fingers together in the front. Concentrate on the bottom of your feet, walking on tightrope, balancing on your left. Very gently lowering your right foot as if you're walking on thin ice without thinking. Okay? So don't try to aim. It's like the archers, the samurai archers. Don't aim, just feel it. And you say, well, that's too heavy. Well, then next time, okay? Don't try to correct it now. So just come down, feel it. Let your body, your mind settle back to the pond, back to the water, back to the moon reflecting, let it slide. And then now shift the weight, completely balancing on the right, like you're walking a tightrope, bringing the left very gently, lowering it as if you're walking on thin ice, feeling it but not thinking it. Walk like the wind. No thinking, just feel it. Okay? All right. So we're going to try that for, how about 3 minutes? First time, just 3 minutes. It's a lot of fun. Just 3 minutes now, okay? Very gentle. Listen, careful. 3 steps. Balancing, concentrating on the bottom of your feet, balancing the right foot, left foot as if you're walking on tightrope. Now balancing on the right, gently touching the floor. Turns out if you want to practice this, it helps if you put a mirror in front. So it's as if you're seeing someone else doing the walking. One step at a time. Now, turn around and completely relax. And then start from zero, as if you didn't do anything. This is the first time you've ever done this. Always start from the zero. This is called the beginner's mind. Very slow. You don't need to walk very far because your mind cannot concentrate for that long. Maybe 10 steps is all you can do. Completely focus, balancing. Okay, now we're going to very slowly come back to the sitting position. We're going to sit for 3 minutes. Making use of what we gain from the walking. The walking is the wind. The wind is essentially sensitivity. We're going to sit for 3 minutes, taking the wind to ventilate the earth. The earth is the sitting element. Okay, we're going to learn how to sit properly now. It's very simple. Make sure that your feet are firmly on the ground. If they're not touching your yoga mat, put some pillows. You don't want to be using your muscle. Just let it rest like this. Rest your hand. Straighten up your spine. Open your shoulder. Lean back your forehead. Tuck in your chin. Focus on your breath. Make use of the sensitivity that you gain from walking the wind element into the earth element. Concentrate on the breath. Try to focus on your breathing. And your mind's going to want to drift away. Just keep asking it to come back. Keep wanting your mind to come back, to anchor on your breath. That's called mindfulness. That is the proper translation for mindfulness. It's sati. It's the name of the goddess and the name of the princess that she remembered the promise that her parents had made to her when she decided to be their daughter. And the minute that they disrespect her, she left them because she remembers. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, it's an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half, so another good place to take a break. So most of the meditation techniques that are practiced in the West are focused on the sitting, as if sitting is meditation. The two becomes one. Meditation is not sitting. Sitting is one of the 4 postures where you can practice sittings. Human being is the only species in the animal kingdom who's capable of all 4 postures. So one needs to practice meditation in all 4 postures: standing, sitting, lying down, and walking. And exercise is the extension of walking. It's the energetic part, it's the dynamic part, whereas the other 3 are stationary. And it's important to understand how the postures work together, understanding the elements. Walking is wind, lying down is water, standing is fire. The wind, the water, and the fire are there to reinforce the earth. The earth is sitting. So if you have a habit of sitting in the morning, if this is the first thing you do when you wake up, it's best that you stand first, because you're not really waking up yet. So you need that fire element to help you wake up your entire being. So it's best that you stand for a few minutes before you sit. You let your fire element reinforce the sitting. Now, if you have a habit of meditating at night before you go to bed, most of the time you're too tired. You're too tired. So you need to do the lying down meditation to use the water element to irrigate the earth. Get some good rest, and then you meditate. If you have a habit of meditating at lunch, taking a break after you have food, it's best that you do some walking meditation first. Help your digestion, but more importantly, create more sensitivity, that wind element, so that when you sit, you don't just fall asleep because you lack of oxygen to begin with. All your oxygen went to your stomach. Okay? So it's very important to work with the 4 elements. Now, this remaining time for our boot camp, we do this exercise called the Yi, Jing, Jing. 3 words. Yi means exchanging, Jing means tendon, and then the last one means the practice. However, I don't like to translate the word into tendon because that's too much focus on the muscle. Right? The word actually can translate into connected tissue. It's really about all the channels throughout your body where you could create qi. It is the exercise that actually activate all 4 elements: the earth, the wind, the water, and the fire. It comes in 14 forms, 14 sets, but you start by the standing posture. Feet firmly on the ground, open your shoulder, relax your shoulder, lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin. Now you're going to rotate your toes so that your toes are pointing inward. We call this the goat stand. The goat stand, okay? And what that does is that it forces you to loosen up your knee, let the calf and the thigh takes over, so the fire element rises up. Open your shoulder. The first one is called Spirit Boosting Palm. Back to Newton's second law again. Okay, action equal to reaction. As soon as you hear the word palm, you know that the focus ought to be the center of your palm. Open your shoulder. Now, this is not about physical force. This is about mental force. So when I say go, you check your mind, make sure your mind is together with the center of your palm, and you push hard as you can together, and then you feel the energy rising up. That's the reaction, all the way up to the top of your head. And then you relax. You come back to your breath, always back to the yin, completely relax, focus on your breath before you do the next one. Okay? First is the spirit boosting palm. Focus on the palm, open your shoulder, get ready, mind, body together. Go! Feel the reaction, the shock wave all the way up to the top of your head. And then now relax, focus on your breath. Completely relax. Second time. Open your shoulder. Focus on the center of your palm. Mind, body together. Get ready. Go. And relax. One last time. Open your shoulder. Mind, body together. Focus. Get ready. Go. And relax. So this exercise was handed down by Bodhidharma, a North Indian yogi who visited China about 1600 years ago. This in fact is a yogic practice. Okay. Now the second one is called pointing the Wan Tail. Wan Tail is the name of the energy point. That is the gallbladder energy point that starts at the top of the head, goes to the shoulder, and then all the way down. And pointing means thumb. It's both a verb and a noun, so that we take it focuses on the thumb now, and taking the thumb, pointing the Wan Tail, but without touching, forming the circular energy path. Now we take the four fingers, roll up the four fingers, focus on the thumb now, as if somebody hangs 2 buckets of water on your thumb and you want to lift up those 2 buckets of water. Hold it and relax without lowering the arm. Arm stays. Back to that breath again. Second time. Lift up those 2 buckets of water and relax without lowering the arm. One last time, lift up the thumb, energize the energy lines, and relax. Now lower your hand. The next one is called the beginner's mind. Now the word mind means the heart. The word heart means center. Now we're focusing on the center of your palm, putting the fingers, the thumb in the center of your palm. Lock it with your 4 fingers like the baby holding up the thumb. And we squeeze the thumb. Okay, bending the thumb inward. And relax. Again, energizing the 6 energy lines originating from your fingers. Second time, thumbs in the middle of the palm. Squeeze the thumb. And relax. Back to the breath again. One last time. Squeeze the thumb. And relax. Now we take a deep breath, putting the fists together at the belly button. Take a deep breath from the lower to the middle to the upper dantian without stopping. Okay? Very gently. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to bring the elbows together, mindful of your back and all the energy points in the back. We're going to stretch the back. And relax, back to the breath again. Second time, bring your elbows together, feel the back, squeeze the back, and relax. One last time, bring your elbows together, squeeze the back, and relax. Next one, the fist is on top of the head. Open your shoulder, open your fingers so that the blood flows away from your finger into your heart. And now we're going to squeeze the thumb. When you squeeze the fist, we roll up the fist 1 joint, 2 joint, lock it with the thumb. Okay? Get ready. Pump the blood into your heart, and then relax. Let the blood flow back into your fingers. Second time, roll the fingers, 1 joint, 2 joint, lock it with the thumb, squeeze, and relax. Completely relax. One last time, open the shoulder, roll your fist, 1 joint, 2 joint, lock it with your thumb, squeeze, and relax. Open your shoulder. Next one's called stabbing the shoulder. Stabbing means that you grab a dagger and you stab. But when you step, you're actually lining up all three energy points. The bottom of your feet, the top of your shoulder, and this thing called the merging valley. Okay, remember all that? And then stab. And then open your hand. Throw away the dagger now. Second time, open the shoulder. Stab. And relax. Open the shoulder. Grab the dagger. Stab. And relax. Now the next one is called the cross. Now we're not punching, we're pushing. And when we push, we come back to the energy line here, the top of the arm. Okay, again, the cross. Relax the wrist. Roll a fist, one joint, two joint. Lock it with the thumb. Take a deep breath and push. And then relax. Second time, relax the wrist, roll a fist, take a deep breath, and push. And imagine you have two big mountains on the side, and you're pushing until you cause an avalanche. In Chinese, that's called a bang. Okay, get ready? Wrist, fist, take a deep breath, bang. Relax. Same thing, but front hanging. Lock your elbow now. Relax your wrist, roll your fist, push, and relax. Relax your wrist, roll your fist, and push. Like you're pushing a wall, okay? One last time. Push, and relax. Back. Two hands above your head. Now we're going to do some chin up. So imagine you have a parallel bar. Grab the bar and pull yourself up. Hold it and relax. So you notice that we're alternating between the three: cardio, muscle building, and stretching. All the elements of a modern exercise. Second time, grab the pole, pull yourself up and relax. One last time, pull yourself up and relax. Fist to the fist. Okay. Now we're pulling the bowl. Right? Imagine you have two hands. We're pulling the bowl. Okay. And if you're old enough to remember the phone bowl, it's like ripping the phone bowl apart. Get ready. Rip. Relax. Second time. Rip. Relax. Back to the breath. One last time. Rip. And relax. Swallow the Dan. Get all your slivers. And swallow. This is why it's important to relax in between. When you relax in between, you're reactivating your saliva gland, okay? This is the test. If you didn't relax, you wouldn't have any saliva. Now go down, back of the hand touching. Head's parallel to the floor. Check your goat stand. Squeeze your fist one time and relax. Squeeze your fist second time and relax. And squeeze your fist one last time and relax. Flip your hand so the center of the palm is facing up. Get ready. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. Empty hand. Breathe in. Rotate your hands so that the palms are facing forward. Lower your knee. Imagine there's a big rock in front and you want to push. And then relax, stand up. Imagine that there's a universe in front of you. Take a deep breath. Swallow the universe. And then now relax. Completely relax. And relax. Open your eyes just slightly. Don't look at any bright light. Move very gently to your sitting position. Mindful of the center of your hand as you touch your cushion. Mindful of the center of your feet as you move into position. And now we're going to learn how to sit properly once again. Okay, by going through the 7 support points. First one is the feet. Feet has to be firmly on the ground. Second one are the hands. Just relax the hand draped in front of you. Third one is the spine, as if somebody is pulling the hair on top of your head. Then is the shoulder. Open the shoulder. Relax the shoulder. Then is the forehead. Lean back the forehead. Tuck in your chin. Entire body move forward. And then lean back the upper torso while keeping the hip forward, putting pressure on your adrenal gland, forcing yourself into the parasympathetic mode. The next thing is the eyelid. Relax your eyelid. At least with one eye, see through your eyelashes so you can see your knee and your hand and the floor. The one last one is the tip of your tongue. Very gently place the tip of your tongue between your teeth and your roof of your mouth, reactivating the saliva gland. Now we can focus on our breath now. It's very, very apparent because we have so much energy in us. Keep focusing on your breath. Know that you're breathing in. Know that you're breathing out. Now back to the big body of water that I talked about. This time we're going to go to a beach. Growing up in Macau, walking around the seashore with my dad in the middle of the night, in the early part of the evening. I see the water come up to the beach and I see the water recede back into the ocean. So when you breathe in, imagine you're seeing the wave come up, the water start to rise. And when you breathe out, you start to see the water receding back into the ocean. Follow your breath as if you're following the wave. Notice the moon is reflecting off the water. It's very calm. You're watching yourself breathing as if you're watching the ocean. You're seeing the moon reflecting off the ocean as you're seeing your own mind being very relaxed. Any agitation would disturb the moon. Keep focusing on your breath, one breath at a time. When you breathe in, it's as if the water rising. When you breathe out, it's as if the water receding. The water rising and receding in the ocean is a natural phenomenon. So is your breath. Your body will breathe on its own, with or without you. So you're just observing your own breath as if you were observing the ocean. Don't think that you have anything to do with that. You're just observing, sensing without thinking. Just like when we were doing walking meditation. Sensing your breath, but don't judge. You notice that as the water comes up to the ocean, comes up from the ocean, it rises all the way up. And then before it recedes, it's as if the world comes to a standstill. And then eventually recedes back into the ocean. The water starts to go back into the ocean, and then when it reaches the very end, it's as if the whole world comes to a standstill again. As you let go of your breath, as you start to observe your breath, but not be part of it, just observing your breath as if it's natural phenomenon, letting it go. You will notice that your breathing is the same as the ocean. Breathe in, and then the world comes to a stop. And then you start to breathe out. and then the world comes to a stop. Learn to give up let go your breath. So as you breathe out, say to yourself, what if I just observe my breath without participating in my breathing? What would the body do? At first, the body doesn't know what to do. It's never had that experience. It's like when you take your dog to the park for the first time, you unleash her or him. The dog looks up at you and says, what are you doing? The dog doesn't know what to do. Then it realizes that it's free. The same with your breath. It's a very strange thing to say to someone to let go of your breath. But if you learn how to let go of your breath, the breath will know what to do. If you could let go of your breath, just watch your breathing until it comes to the very end, and then just let it go. Let the body breathe on your own, and you focus on the space, the no, the emptiness between your out-breath and the in-breath. Just focus on that space. Okay? Do the best you can. Everybody has his own way. Do it without expectation. Just relax. We're going to do this for 3 minutes. Check your posture. Straighten your spine, open your shoulder, lean back your forehead, tuck in your chin. Putting pressure on your adrenal gland, relax your eyelid. And then just focus on your breath. Try to find that space. Try to let go of your breathing. Let your body free. Open your eyes. I believe it was one of the verses, one of the quote from a Bible. I have to look it up. I actually have done the research in the past, and I know where it comes from. But you can remind me. Maybe Josh, you can remind me. It goes something like this. It says, may you have the tranquility to accept things you cannot change. May you have the courage to change things that you can change. And may you have the wisdom to know the difference. That's the best way to... Serenity player, thank you very much. That is letting go. That is letting go. But letting go is not a mental process. You can't just let go and then let go, because your mind doesn't work like that. And so you need to pick up some skills. And just letting go of your breath is one technique. And what it does is that it just puts you in that state of mind where you become very sensitive to your breath, very sensitive to your body. So when you have something negative happen to you, you know that that's pain. You can't, there's nothing you can do about it, right? Because that's coming from outside. But at least you have the choice of not letting the pain metastasize into suffering. But to do that, it's not the mind that has to do that. It's actually a technique that you need to be very sensitive to your breath and very sensitive to your mind, because the minute that it wants to go the wrong direction, you don't know. You wouldn't know, okay? Because that's why people get upset for months and weeks, and then finally realize, I shouldn't have done that. No, because you don't know. But if you're sensitive to your body and your breath will tell you, your body will tell you, and then you become, oh, I don't want that. That's not the path I want to go. Now I want to choose a different path. That's what it's all about, okay? Hi, Josh.
Hey, Denny, what's up?
Okay, so we're going to close this by doing the 5 exercise by exhaling, okay? Getting all the bad chi out of our lower third of our lung. Get ready. Focus on the elbow. Okay? Now we're going to do this again at 6 o'clock. Basically it's the same thing, but repackaged a little differently, and it's much more about therapy than it's about the boot camp. Okay? So if I don't see you at 6 o'clock, I will see you next week. And in the meantime, do practice on your own. So we have 2 resources, a couple more than 2. We have something called the Daily. So that's DNNYKMRU.com/daily. So this is the same thing, but with all the commentary taken out, so you can just follow and follow and follow. The second one is the playlist that has all the recordings. So if you happen to miss half of this, you can come back and catch. So that's DENNYKMRU.mu/Saturday. All right. And then finally, Josh already pointed out that we have a circle. So when all else fail, come to the circle and ask the question there. Okay? So with that, how about we just say goodbye to each other? I want you to be blessed with good health, with peace, and with tranquility. Thank you.
Thank you, Denny. Thanks, everybody.